I suppose we can get going. I think there's maybe a few more people come in, but contrary to what it says on the slide, I am not Larry O'Brien. I am Dick Hill. Larry couldn't make it. He had a medical situation that kept him from coming down here, but he's okay. He just couldn't fly. So I'm the substitute for him. And we have a great 3 speakers after me, so I'm going to talk really fast to get off this stage so the 3 great speakers can have a chance to tell you what they came here to tell you. And we also have a couple of great panel members that are going to join us at the end. So please think of your questions that you want to ask them. And the whole topic is about approaches to automation projects and how we can improve those. So to begin with, we're not talking about grassroots projects or totally retrofit project. We're talking about all kinds of projects. Whether they're huge or small, they all have some commonality when it comes to automation. You have to design it, engineer it, purchase the equipment, purchase the software, install it, and start it up. And in both cases, you have to pay attention to what is the objective and why did you want to do this in the first place. And we've heard a lot this morning. We talked about the need to know about what it is your financial objectives are and how that maps into your automation. Those are important things. What we need to do is stop spending so much time and money on implementing automation. So I think one of the hopeful offshoots of this whole open automation initiative is that we can spend our money more wisely on repetitive activities and not have to reinvent the wheel, as they say, every time. There are many new technologies and approaches that can significantly reduce project costs. We've got to pay attention to those. Those of you who have been here a couple of years ago, ExxonMobil also talked about an initiative they called It Just Happens. And we looked at that, and we think there's some great ideas there they're very complementary to things ARC's been saying for over a decade, as well as this new open process automation. Modular approaches are becoming available to automation systems and so forth. So maybe some of you may recall that over a decade ago, ARC put together this concept model that said what would be a realistic automation system structure, one that removes a lot of barriers, and we called it collaborative process automation system. So it basically took a traditional DCS approach, but then seamlessly put together a lot of things so that it could be, in fact, much easier for a multi-vendor environment. That was our vision. The just happens concept also talks about 4 main things. Make it simple, make it capital efficient, make it robust, and make it timeless. And by timeless, it means let's not just think about, deliver the project, turn over the keys and walk away. Let's make sure that the system that's on the ground can be kept alive for a long life, maybe 20, 30, 40 years. So again, using that model, we want to reduce the complexity. We want to reduce customization, make things more standard, eliminate, simplify, or automate processes that can be automated. We want to reduce the number of dependencies within the structure. We want to reduce manual created documents, rather move towards automatic or self-documentation as opposed to having to create documents at the time of handover. Take managed risks, don't take extraordinary risks. And develop and enable trust with your suppliers and your contractors. This is very important. The last session we talked about how important the human factor is, working together. I'm going to skip over this because I want to make sure we have time. Modularization, we're already seeing some things happening. which makes the project a little bit shorter in time. And the systems itself are much more modular now. And finally, the plants themselves are modular. There's a movement towards components within the plant that can be brought in and put in place and plugged together. So the question is, we've had intelligent devices for a long time, and we heard yesterday, at least I did, that even though these intelligent devices are out there, a lot of our systems continue to use them in a dumb way. They're just basically an electronic version of the old 4 to 20 milliamps in some cases. So we need to start looking at how to get the benefits from these smart and intelligent devices. There's an estimate shown here that 85% of the installed HART devices are not being accessed in terms of the HART protocol and the information you could get just from that protocol alone.